Still burning on 1,800 milligrams of gabapentin? This compound actually will rebuild the nerve. But before we go any further, do this right now. Grab a pen or pencil, anything with a smooth barrel. Now close your eyes, roll it between your thumb and index finger. Can you feel the ridges, the texture, or does it feel flat, like rolling a pencil through a sock? If it feels flat, your nerve signal is weak. That's not a pain problem, that's a wire problem. And pills like gabapentin don't fix wires. They just turn down the volume on the alarm. Write this down. Pills turn down the alarm. They don't fix the wire. Think of your nerves like a lamp cord. Gabapentin dims the lamp so it doesn't flicker as much. But if the cord is frayed, dimming it doesn't repair the cord. That's the trap. And today you're going to learn what actually repairs it. Let me be clear about something up front. I'm not against medication. These drugs have a role. If you're in crisis, if the pain is so bad you can't sleep, can't think, or can't function, these drugs can give you your life back for a few hours. That matters. But here's what your doctor may not have told you. Gabapentin, pregabalin, duloxetine, all three work with the same basic way. They slow down the pain signal traveling from your feet to your brain. They're an anti-seizure medication. Think of it like putting foam around a fire alarm. The fire is still burning, the alarm just got quieter. And here's the part that catches people off guard. The average pain reduction from gabapentin is about 30 to 40%. Not 80%, not 90, 30 to 40. That means if your pain's a 7 out of 10, gabapentin might bring it down to a 5. Still painful, still there. Now the side effects, and I want you to listen carefully here because this is where the Reddit threads light up. Brain fog. People describe it as thinking through molasses. You can't find the word you're looking for. You walk into the room and forget why. Your family notices before you do. Dizziness and balance problems on a nerve patient who already has balance problems from neuropathy. You see the problem? Weight gain. Gabapentin is notorious for it, and weight gain makes neuropathy worse. More pressure on already damaged nerves. Tolerance buildup. What worked at 300 milligrams stops working, so your doctor raises it. 600, 900, 1,200, 1,800, and at some point you're at the maximum dose and the pain is coming back. I've seen as high as 4,800 milligrams. And here's the part nobody warned you about. Getting off gabapentin is harder than getting on it. People describe withdrawal, anxiety, insomnia, sweating, the pain roaring back worse than before. I'm not saying this to scare you at all. I'm saying it because you deserve to know what you're actually dealing with. So, if these pills only turn down the alarm, what actually puts out the fire? That's what the next few minutes are about. 3 compounds, real research, real doses, real timelines. Let's go. Your first repair compound, benfotiamine. It's a special form of vitamin B1, and I need you to understand the difference between regular B1, the kind in your daily vitamin, won't do this job. Regular B1 dissolves in water. Your body flushes most of it out before it ever reaches your nerves. Benfotiamine dissolves in fat. That one difference lets it cross into your nerve cells, and it's into the places where damage is happening. Here's what it does once it gets inside. High blood sugar damages nerves through a process called, and I'll keep it simple, sugar rust. Just like rust eats through metal, excess sugar eats through your nerve's protective coating. Benfotiamine blocks that rust. It literally stops the damage pathway at step 1. The research. In multiple studies on diabetic neuropathy, patients taking 300 to 600 milligrams of benfotiamine daily show measurable improvement in nerve function scores, not just pain ratings, but actual nerve testing. The nerves worked better. That's repair, not masking. Your dose, 300 milligrams twice a day, once with breakfast, once with dinner. Take it with food. Fat helps you absorb it. One important note, benfotiamine is different from thiamine. Regular B1, do not substitute. The whole point is that benfotiamine is fat soluble, regular B1 is not. This is one case where the specific form matters a lot. Compound number 2, methylcobalamin. This is the active form of vitamin B12. And if you only remember one thing from this section, make it this. Not all B12 is the same. B12 in most daily vitamins and standard blood tests is cyanocobalamin. Cheaper, more stable on the shelf, but your body has to convert it before it can use it. And if you're over 55, that conversion drops off a cliff. Your body simply can't make the switch as well as it used to. Methylcobalamin skips that step. It's already in the form your nerves can use. It goes straight to work. Now, what does it actually do? Your nerves are wrapped in a protective layer called the myelin sheath. Think of it like the rubber coating on a wire. When that coating is intact, the signal travels fast and clean. When it's damaged, the signal leaks, slows down, or misfires. That's your tingling. That's your numbness. That's the pen through the sock feeling from that test earlier. Methylcobalamin helps your body rebuild that coating. It's one of the few compounds shown to support myelin repair in clinical research. The research, a 1-year study on diabetic neuropathy patients, found that taking methylcobalamin showed significant improvement in nerve conduction velocity. That's the speed of the signal through the nerve. Faster signal equals less numbness equals better balance, fewer falls. This is functional improvement, not just pain relief. Your dose, 1,000 micrograms. That's 1 milligram daily, best absorbed under the tongue. Let it dissolve. Don't chew it and swallow. You lose the absorption advantage. Critical alert, if you take metformin or diabetes, you need to hear this. Metformin is one of the most common drugs in America, and it silently depletes your B12 levels. Studies show that long-term metformin users have a significantly lower B12, and most doctors never check. So you could be taking a drug that's helping your blood sugar while it's slowly starving your nerves of the one vitamin they need to repair themselves. If you're on metformin, ask your doctor to check your B12 level. Specifically ask for the methylmalonic acid test. That's the test that catches the deficiency the regular blood test misses. Compound number 3, and honestly, this is the one Reddit neuropathy community talks about the most, alpha lipoic acid. But I need you to get the right form because the wrong one is a waste of money. There are 2 types on the shelf, regular ALA and RALA. The R stands for the natural form, the one your body actually recognizes. Regular ALA is a mix, and only half of it is the active form. RALA is pure. Always buy RALA. It absorbs better and you need less of it. Now, what does it do? Your damaged nerves are under constant attack from something called oxidative stress. Think of it like sparks flying off a damaged wire. Every spark does a little more damage. Alpha lipoic acid is a spark catcher. It neutralizes those sparks and then it helps your body recycle its other antioxidants. It makes vitamin C and E work better too. One compound, multiple jobs. The research is that most studied supplement for neuropathy in the world. In a landmark German study, and the Germans have been studying this for over 20 years, patients taking 600 milligrams of ALA daily for 3 weeks reported significant reduction in burning, tingling, and pain. 3 weeks, not 3 months, 3 weeks. In longer studies, 6 months and beyond, patients showed actual improvement in nerve function testing, not just feeling better, testing better. Your dose, 300 milligrams of RALA twice a day, morning and evening. Take it on an empty stomach. Food reduces absorption. Wait 30 minutes before eating. One interaction warning, ALA can lower blood sugar. If you're on diabetes medication, especially insulin, monitor your blood sugar more closely when you start. The continuous glucose monitors really help with that. Talk to your doctor. This is not a reason to avoid it. It's a reason to be smart about it. Now, here's the twist that catches most people off guard. You could be taking all 3 of these repair compounds perfectly, the right doses, right forms, right timing, and still not get the full benefit because some of the drugs you're taking every day are stealing the raw materials your nerves need. I already mentioned metformin and B12, but there are 2 more you need to know about. Acid blocking medications, Nexium, Prilosec, Prevacid. If you take one of these for heartburn or reflux, and millions of seniors do, you need to know this. Stomach acid is what unlocks B12 from your food. When you shut off the acid, you shut off the B12 absorption pipeline. Over months and years, your B12 quietly drops. And quietly, your nerves lose their repair material. Diuretics, water pills, hydrochlorothiazide, furosemide. These push fluid out of your body, but they also push out B1 and magnesium. 2 of the exact nutrients your nerves need most. Here's the move. Don't stop any of these medications. That's between you and your doctor, but do get your B12, B1, and magnesium levels checked, specifically by name, because if you're being depleted, you need to know what you need to replenish. All right, you've got 3 repair compounds. Now, how do you actually take them? Because timing matters, form matters, and there's one combination mistake I see all the time. Morning within 30 minutes of waking, 300 milligrams of RALA on an empty stomach. Wait 30 minutes, then eat breakfast. With breakfast, 300 milligrams of benfotiamine. After breakfast, 1,000 micrograms methylcobalamin under the tongue. Evening with dinner, 300 milligrams benfotiamine with food, 300 milligrams RALA. Wait, here's the key. Take RALA at least 2 hours after your last meal. If you ate dinner at 6, take your evening RALA at 8 p.m., empty stomach. The one mistake to avoid, never take RALA and benfotiamine at the same time. One needs an empty stomach, one needs food. Take them together and you lose absorption on both. Space them apart. What to expect in your first week? You might feel a slight increase in energy. Some people notice less burning in the first 7 to 10 days. This is the RALA working on oxidative stress. It's fast acting. What to expect in month 1? Benfotiamine and methylcobalamin need more time. The myelin repair process takes weeks. By the end of month 1, you may notice, and I say may because everyone is different. Improved sensation on the pen test. Less of that through a sock feeling. What to expect by month 3? This is where the research shows measurable nerve conduction improvements. The signal is traveling faster. Balance improves. Numb patches may shrink. Not overnight, but real testable change. Remember the pen test from the beginning? Let's do it again. But this time, I want you to try something different. Roll the pen between your fingers again. Same motion, but this time, slow your breathing. In through the nose, 4 counts. Hold 4 counts. Out through the mouth for 6. Do that twice, then roll the pen. Did that feel any different? Even a tiny shift? A slight increase in texture? A little less flatness? If yes, that's your nervous system responding to calm. Stress tightens nerve pathways, breathing opens them. It's not a cure, but it's a real-time demonstration that your nerves are not permanently broken. They respond. They're listening. Now, imagine what happens when you give them the right building materials. Every single day for 3 months. 3 compounds, 3 jobs. Benfotiamine blocks the rust. Methylcobalamin builds the wire coating. RALA catches the sparks. Together, they address the 3 mechanisms that are actually damaging your nerves instead of just turning down the alarm. Here's what I want you to do. Don't try to start 3 altogether. Start with just 1. If you're a metformin, start with methylcobalamin. If your burning is worse at night, start with RALA. Pick the one that matches your situation. Give it 2 weeks. See how your body responds. Then add a second. Then add a third. If this video gave you something that you could actually use, hit that like button and subscribe. It helps more people find this information. And subscribe, because next week I'm going to break down the full overnight nerve repair protocol, the sleep positions, the supplements, and the timing that gives your nerves your best chance to rebuild while you sleep. You won't want to miss that one. Start with just one thing. I'll see you in the next one.